Good morning. I wanted to go over yesterday's recap for Monday, January 7th. I overtraded yesterday, but I did better than last week in regard of trade management, and I was very patient, but still trigger shy and hesitant to add to my positions. For my watch list, I had Roku and Netflix on my watch list, as they both were active. And Basti told me that Golden Globes were the night before, so that was kind of the reason they were so active. However, I noted that and kept it on watch. I didn't trade Roku as I didn't like the action. Also, there was PCG with a huge gap down, but with a big resistance below, big support below. So I watched it out of the open, but didn't like the action. It was just chopping around and actually held support. And now in hindsight, it just chopped around between like $18 and $20. Didn't trade it. However, I was very impatient on the open. I immediately like took a short out of the open in Netflix, which was really, really erratic and stupid. It immediately bounced, and I took it off on the retests of VWAP, and I was actually hoping for a rollover and crack of VWAP, but it respected its resistance here. My levels, the next levels on for Netflix were like 313 and 316, where around the SMA 100 was. So when Netflix came to 313, I waited, I watched it, and waited for a decision candle. So, but actually on this reject of 314, I took a stab just to add, and it played out. But like you can see it's like always like almost a $2 in a 1 minute candle, and it was very choppy and low volume. I just didn't like it. When it later came back up to this close to 316, made another move. We were far away from VWAP. Um, I saw this decision candle, and it was just a fake out. There was no follow through, and I just stuck with it. I had the next ad planned for 317 and waited for somewhat of a decision candle, but my order wasn't filled, so I had this not so decent average and took off uh, a small profit here. And I just stuck with the rest for like all this time, and I was very patient of it. What I did wrong was not adding into the spikes. Like here was a good point to add, but I watched it. I did not take it. I did not take an ad here, and I was really expecting for Netflix to make another move higher, and I was kind of scared to be stuck with my 315 average and it making like a move to, I think 325 was the next level I had. So that wasn't quite good. Next, I traded Tesla. Um, I missed. Wait, I had the 325 level. 325 was an average. 329 to 330, and then 335 and 337 to 339 I had as levels. So out of the open, I watched it. I did not take a trade immediately at 325 as I didn't like the distance to VWAP. However, I watched for the backside test and fail, and took a short here, which was a good entry. But support held, and I didn't like how it traded it, so I took it off immediately. Then later, I was very I didn't feel comfortable when it got into 335. Here it rejected. I didn't, like I missed this one. Um, and it held, so I was very hesitant in taking a stab here, even though it was like 7 points from VWAP, and it would have been great to start a position here with 335. And so I missed the 5 point move, but however, I watched it as it tested 330, where we had, like support here with the EMA 20. So I took a stab here on this after this reject and the small decision candle. I took a long, but here again, it traded very slowly and with a big spread and on low volume, and I didn't like the action. I wasn't just patient enough, and I was kind of scared out of the position, and like missed like this 2 to 3 points it made here, and yeah, just kind of watch it. So on the retest of 335, I started the position. 337 was never tested, and I missed to enter on. I was just scared of taking a position, and like Basti says, I'm trigger shy, and that's totally I'm lacking confidence at the moment. But I'm getting better, I'm getting improvement, and I feel more confident today. So really looking for the day today, as I did good on my patience today. So, however, I took off my trade here, break even, as I didn't like the action. So that was Tesla. Apple again. I took a long here after support at 148 held. It tested below 148. I had 149 as resistance, so I wanted to anticipate a move into there. And at the moment, I don't like how the market trades, and especially Apple. Like there's no follow through here again. I took like when the bid stepped up to above 148. I took a long, and it just chopped around. Like there's enough volume, but it's not clean. There's no follow through. So you see like the bid stepping up, stepping down, and just hovering around and faking you out, and you have to give it some room. And I didn't feel comfortable because I didn't like it to, like my stop would have been here, but even that, like that's like 20 cents, and I didn't feel comfortable. So I took the trade off immediately. Like it made a small move up and retested, and I don't know, it's just not what I liked. I also traded NVDA. I had 142 and 144.50s as resistance. I didn't use 142-ish, although it was it would have been good for a support play at 142. I mean, it respected it here. I missed it. I just watched. But again, there was no follow through to VWAP, and it respected it EMA 9, and just like as you can see, it just moved higher. So again on NVIDIA, I was patient, but not patient enough. I had 144.50 to 144.80 to be precise. I had 144.80 as a pivot, and I thought it was odd. Like usually I use the $0.50 or full dollars for orientation and for entries. So again, I took a first stab at it after it rejected 144. I wanted to wait for a backside rejection, and it wasn't clean, but I still gave it a shot. Well, it was kind of stupid, but I stuck with it. I was patient here. I didn't, like erratically entry here and waited for the $0.50. It tested 60 cents, and here I don't know why I got shot. Just got faked out. It moved down and immediately found support. I sold support here. So it actually tested, and when it finally tested 144.8, this is like a beautiful decision candle. But I was trigger shy again, and I did not add, but like I had a good average, and I took a small profit here and stuck with the rest. Did not add, I just let it play out and wanted to see it move to VWAP maybe, but well, it didn't. So I took, once it broke above here, I took it off and waited how it turns out. Usually it makes another move up to test like the 144 level, but when it broke 144, I took off all of it. Then again, it formed like on a double, maybe what looked like a double top. It rejected this and on this candle, and entry was good. I stuck with it. It made another step up. It tested 144.80 again, and it just chopped around, and that's like the whole day. I was patient. My target was eventually here at the 143.75s I had as target, but it just, it tested here. I didn't even get filled, and I had taken off a partial at 144 or below it, and I just took it off and called it a day. As for tomorrow, I'm feeling a bit more confident now in taking trades and be patient. I really try to sit tight, maybe like for the first half an hour, as there are no catalysts actually, like any news or earnings that would allow for an entry any earlier. And I must just wait for stock to find direction before initiating any trades. So yeah, let's see how that works out for me, and see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.